If you're wanting to become a successful Amazon seller and running a profitable Amazon business, then you gotta keep watching this video because I'm about to be sharing with you a lot of tips to starting and growing and scaling a profitable and successful Amazon business. So stay tuned and let's jump into it, starting with me telling you who I am. Alright, so if you've never seen any of my videos and you don't know who I am, my name is Ian Smith and I run a creative marketing agency that primarily works with Amazon sellers. And what we do for Amazon sellers is we help them with getting the conversion rate on their Amazon product detail pages as high as possible. We work with a lot of Amazon startups and basically we do a lot of product photo shoots and video shoots to represent their product in the best way and set the scale and expectations of the shopper accurately, right? So what we'll do is we'll take a whole bunch of product photos, we'll graphic design those up, put a lot of sales copy into those photos, making them a little bit more infographic-y. So basically our goal is so that the shoppers can primarily look at the photos and make a buying decision based on all the information and features and benefits and stuff that are in the photos alone. So if you're wanting to launch a new product on Amazon or revamp your current product listing pages, then book a free consulting call with me by going to emaamz.com. On this call, I'll look at your current listing page and give you some free information on how you can increase that conversion rate and make it perform a whole lot better. But if you don't want to jump on a Zoom call with me, then you can get access to our free Amazon listing checklist by going to amzchecklist.com. This checklist is going to give you a ton of information of things that you need to include in your title, in your bullet points, in your photos, in your videos, in your frequently asked questions, how to get reviews, all kinds of stuff. It's got a ton of valuable information, completely free. If you go to amzchecklist.com, you can get access to that now. All right, so now that you know who I am and what we do inside Evolve Media, now let's go ahead and jump into the video where I can give you a whole lot of tips on how to start a profitable, successful Amazon business. So let's jump into it. All right, so the first tip that you gotta know when launching an Amazon business or selling anything online is that photos and videos are everything. That's the only way that a shopper is gonna actually be able to learn about your product in the digital world before they actually take that leap of faith and buy your product. And hopefully when they get it in their hand, their expectations are met because hopefully your photos and videos set that expectation accurately. You know, so many times people order stuff online and they think it's a lot bigger than it really is. So what we like to do to combat this is put a hand in the photo. We like to have a hand actually holding the product in any kind of way and not photoshopping the product into a stock photo or a photo from the internet. We like to actually take a real life photo of a hand holding the product. That is one of the best ways to really set the scale and expectations of the size expectations really of how big the photo is. But apart from scale and everything like that, I'm not going to go too deep into how to take pictures and stuff, but just know that a lot of photos and a lot of videos are gonna really help you sell profitably and successfully and scale even off Amazon in the best way. So as you grow your library of content, and I definitely recommend investing in growing your library of content, don't just stop when you have a decent amount. The more videos that you have, the more photos that you have, the better you're going to actually be able to sell. Because once you have these content assets, then you can start distributing them around the internet, around Amazon in the form of ads, in the form of organic content. You can get more videos from micro-influencers and then run those as ads on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and then also on Amazon. Your best performing ads are going to be within the Amazon platform, so Amazon PPC. So I highly recommend, again, invest and take that time and energy and effort to make a whole lot of photos and a whole lot of videos. The best kind of photos are going to be social proof photos where you have a bunch of random people holding up your product like this. That's really powerful for building trust and credibility. And then same with videos, but ultimately a wide variety of videos and photos are going to be really helpful for you in scaling a business online. All right, the next tip that you need to keep in mind is that your product is going to be the solution to somebody's problem. So you need to always put yourself in that shopper's shoes and imagine that they have this problem. What things do they need to hear in order to actually make that buying decision and actually go with buying your product over your competitors' products? How are you different than your competitors? We're going to talk more about that later in this video, but ultimately you need to remember that your product is going to be the solution. So how can you look at the value that your product is going to actually bring the customer? And when you write your sales copy for the title and bullet points and A+ content area, and also the copy for the images, how does your product actually benefit the customer? Don't focus so much on the features. The features would be that your product has 3 speed settings, right? And that's cool and all that your product has 3 speed settings, but you're allowing the customer to connect the dots in how that actually impacts their life. Connect the dots for them. Tell them we have 3 speed settings so you can have more flexibility in your massage. Let's say it's a massage gun. So those 3 speed settings are gonna allow you to start slow and then intensify your massage as you crank up the settings. So bring it home for them, connect those dots, and tell them this is the feature that we offer, and this is how it's gonna be valuable in your life and how it's gonna benefit you. So that's really huge. Don't just write all your copy focusing on the features, connect those dots and focus on the benefits and how it actually brings value to that shopper. The next tip is to sell a product that is consumable so that you have a customer base that buys from you month over month over month. This is gonna be super valuable because if you have to earn a new customer every single time because your past customers are not really gonna buy that same product again, that's gonna really increase your costs because your highest cost in business is gonna be your cost of acquisition. How much does it cost to acquire that first time customer? Because if it's a consumable product and you pay that high cost to acquire them, then the next cost to get them to come back and buy again and again and again, it's gonna be so much lower, and your profit margins on that second, third, and fourth purchase are gonna be way bigger, and it's gonna really help you scale. That cash flow is gonna really help you with scaling up and expanding your product line, and overall maybe one day selling your business for a nice chunk of change because you focused on making a consumable product line that they're gonna need to be buying over and over, and ultimately it is the best way to build a healthy, profitable Amazon business. The next tip is you need to be able to communicate how you are different than all the hundreds of other sellers that are selling a similar product to yours. So if you can add value and you can make your product have more stuff. You know, recently I just bought one of those push-up boards. I don't know if you've ever seen these things, but they're like different like panned bars that you can kind of put on this board and it kind of works at different parts of your body. Anyway, there's a lot of sellers selling these push-up boards, but I found one that includes resistance bands. They include so much more than just a push-up board, and they were within that same price point as a lot of the other competitors. So if you don't have a lot of reviews, you're just starting out, how can you add value into your price offering to stand out from your competitors, and so that a shopper will look at your main listing image and be like, wow, it includes all that stuff, versus one of your competitors that just includes the one thing. So instead of trying to get to the lowest price point, sometimes including more value into your actual price offering is gonna help you stand out from your competition. So that's just one little example of how you can stand out from others. You need to be thinking about ways on, are your materials different? You know, are you doing different things with your engineering? You know, I saw this one product that tilted their like handlebars just like 10 degrees, and they're pitching like that makes all the difference by having the handlebars like tilted 10 degrees or whatever. So it's little things like that. Those are little things that you need to look at to have a key selling point offer, you know, have your KPI or whatever it is, you know, key point. I don't know what I'm saying, but basically you need to find those differentiating factors of your product and also invent them. And when you're looking for a product to sell, figure out how you can be different with this product. All right, the next tip is polarizing. Do not try to sell to everybody. Don't try to assume that everybody is your customer. Don't try to think that people aged 18 to 25 and people aged 55 to 65 are gonna be your customers. You need to niche down and focus in on a very small, you know, let's say 25 to 35 age range, and only for men, and only for men that are interested in the color blue and they like to do outdoor activities like camping or whatever. So really figure out that niche avatar, that shopper, that customer avatar that is exactly who you're trying to focus on, and appeal to them fully. You're gonna do a really good job of appealing to one person if you really just think of that one person, and other people, you know, similar to that one person will still be appealed to, but ultimately you don't want to try to appeal to women that are aged 50 plus or aliens that are no, I'm just kidding. No, but really you just want to focus in on one niche and polarize yourself and say who you are for and who you're not for. It's gonna save you a bunch of money on advertising costs as well, and it's gonna bring those people that you're actually for closer while pushing away the other people that you're not necessarily for further away. You can always invent a product down the road that's gonna target those other people in that other niche, but really if you can just scale into one specific niche and make it very clear who you are for and who you want to work with, that's gonna benefit you way better longer term. All right, my next tip is to work on building an audience before you even have a product. So if you're sourcing a product from China, chances are it's gonna take like a month or two, maybe more, to get here to the United States and put it into Amazon fulfillment centers. So you can work on building an audience in the meantime until you get product in an FBA fulfillment center. So how do you do this? Well, you can create a YouTube channel or a TikTok channel, and you can start by reviewing different products, different Amazon products, to build an audience of people that like those types of products. You know, if you have a passion for camping or riding dirt bikes or riding ATV or getting outdoors and fishing and stuff like that, start looking at products in that space. If you're already doing that for fun as a hobby, look at products within that space and start reviewing them. Start making short little TikTok videos or YouTube videos and building an audience of people that love these type of products products, and you may just find that, hey, one of the products you're reviewing, you can do better. You can improve that product. You can make it better, and that may just lead to you actually launching your own product. But ultimately, you'll have an audience of people that like products within the camping space or whatever. So when you launch your first product, second product, third product within that camping space, keep on trying to build that audience and create content, but you can use that audience as a tool to buy your products. And, you're reviewing one of your own products. You're reviewing all these different competing products, and then you all of a sudden review your product, and you make it very easy for all those people to go buy your product. You do a flash sale, you make your offer insanely awesome, and people would be, dumb to not take your offer. So you want to have like an irresistible offer, but ultimately build your audience, focus on building an audience. And I think that the best way to do it would be reviewing products or somehow incorporating products into content so that it's not that far of a jump when you actually have your own product and you start pitching your own product. This audience of people may already be hungry for those products and buying those products. All right, now my next tip is really focusing in on the actual product itself. Now, like I mentioned before, getting it from China takes months to get overseas, and ultimately you don't really know exactly what you're buying. It takes a long time to refill your inventory, so I'm not a huge fan of buying products from China and trying to sell them. So what I would tell you to do is find a product that you can manufacture yourself in the USA. If you're watching this within the USA, find a product that you can build in the USA. If you're not in the USA and you're in Canada or UK or Australia or some other country, find a product that you can manufacture in your country or down the street from you or nearby you, okay? If you're nearby China, then that's great, that's awesome. And you can just walk down the street and you can go get a product there. But ultimately, find a product that you can one day bring in-house and build it in your home turf, in your city, right? Because that's gonna really help you with building a large inventory, controlling your costs, controlling your competition, refilling inventory a whole lot faster. It makes you have so much of a healthier business when you can actually control more of the supply chain, controlling the manufacturing and everything like that. So I'm a huge fan of manufacturing nearby you. And ultimately, if you're not just buying to resell it, the whole private labeling, if you're actually manufacturing your product, putting your label on it and selling it, you're gonna be so much more healthier of a business because you actually control things. And let's say that you were buying from a manufacturer, right? Your competitors can come to that same manufacturer and be like, hey, I wanna buy it and private label your product too. So ultimately, your manufacturer can be printing and creating more competition for you. And that's not cool. You wanna be the manufacturer so that if your competitors come and they wanna, private label your product, hey, you're still making money off that product and they're selling it over here and you're selling it over here and you're making a wholesale price here, but you're making a retail price here. So ultimately, get into manufacturing. All right, now for the next few tips, I'm gonna rapid fire. So your product needs to be easy to use, easy to understand, be high quality, and be in that impulse buy price range of $15 to $30. Now, when I say easy to use and understand, you don't wanna have a big learning curve. We actually worked with this client, this product that the shopper needed a significant learning curve in order to learn how to do this with this. And there was a setup process. And then once it's actually set up, then it's like, okay, I got to do what in order to, and it was just too much effort. So ultimately they were trying to solve a problem, but the solution was just too convoluted and complex. And it was just too hard for shoppers to comprehend, which means that when you're trying to explain this to the shopper and their head is hurting, they're burning too many calories just to try to understand what it is that you're selling and how it's going to help them. They're going to pass, they're going to go on to the next thing, and they're just not going to buy. So you want your product to be easy to use, easy to understand, high quality. You don't want it to break within the first 10, 15 days of a customer using it. That's just going to give you a lot of returns and bad reviews. So you want high quality, even if that means your price point is going to be in the higher range, which could be $30 or more, but ultimately if you're offering a quality product, people are willing to pay for quality products. So that's at least what I believe. I know that there's always going to be a market for cheap products, but ultimately the cheaper, they're going to churn because people are going to be buying those products. It's going to break on them. They're going to ultimately then need to just replace that cheap product with a quality one. Usually the best customers are the ones who have already been there, done that, bought a cheap one, and now they're like, all right, I need this thing to work. I'm okay with spending more because I just want something quality. So focusing on quality is really big. And ideally, if you can get quality and get something within that price point of $15 to $30, that's going to be huge because a lot of people don't take weeks to think about buying something when it's less than $30. Maybe some people, $50 is that impulse buy territory, but for a lot of the population right now, at least $30 seems to be that impulse buy territory. And really, it used to be $20, anything less than $20, but because of inflation, that $30 has been now the new standard. And really, if inflation keeps going crazy, $50 may be the new impulse buy territory because everything is just so much more expensive. But there you have it. There's some quick, rapid tips for you. Before I get into my last tip and wrap up this video, I just want to tell you guys and remind you guys real quick that if you want to book a free consulting call with me, go to emaamz.com. On that call, we can do an audit of of your listing. We can give you some free advice. And ultimately, man, I'll be transparent. My goal is to land you as a client and get you to hire me and my team to do a product photo shoot, create some videos for you, and ultimately help you launch a Amazon listing that has the highest conversion rate possible so that you can have very profitable and successful Amazon PPC ads. You can scale it. You can ultimately have everything set up, your foundation all set from the get-go so that you can really have a successful launch, because launches are important. There's a honeymoon period that you really need to get some good sales velocity going within that honeymoon period, which is about 30 to 60 days after launch. So having a solid foundation set with photos and videos on your listing is huge. And then next, if you want to get access to that very comprehensive checklist, and I'm constantly adding ideas as I think of new ideas, I'm adding to this checklist. So it's always getting better and better, but go to amzchecklist.com. All right, so my last few tips are involving your product's size and how long its shelf life is. So ultimately you want your size to be smaller so that you can have more product in a pallet, so that your shipping cost is lower, so that you can have more inventory in Amazon, because Amazon is going to only really allow you to have about a refrigerator of space in their fulfillment center. They're going to put you on some limits before they start to see your sales volume really kick up. So you can only send so much inventory into Amazon until you kind of prove yourself and prove that you've got some sales velocity, and then they'll let you put in more inventory. But ideally a small product, a little box or something, and a product that fits really well on a pallet, so you can maximize your space on a pallet. And then regarding shelf life, you want a very long shelf life, as long as possible. And ideally a product that does not melt in somewhat high temperatures. I had a client that sells supplements, so the little veggie capsules, right? And they actually melted on the buses while being delivered to customers in hot places like Arizona and Texas and things like that. So if you can have a long shelf life, have it somewhat temperature resistant so it doesn't melt in 100-degree temperatures or freeze and damage within 30 or 20-degree temperatures. That's Fahrenheit temperatures, by the way. So when you're looking for a product, have it be small in size and fits really good on a pallet. Have the packaging be self-contained so that it fits really nicely on a pallet, temperature resistant, and long shelf life. So those are my tips for you for launching and scaling a profitable Amazon business. Hopefully you got some value from this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.